When a president of the United States takes office, he is told the secrets that only he can and must know, whether he likes it or not. I'm not referring to protocols for ordering nuclear strikes or who assassinated Kennedy. I'm saying that, without exception, he will meet with a very particular government official, one that the new president didn't even know existed. His codename is Agent Cantwell, a word that combines the phrase can do all. And it refers to the fact that, in fact, as its translation indicates, this government agent can do it all, since he is the only one who has the all-come-six key, which gives him access to any document, weapon, site, and without any opposition. His credentials make him the highest-ranking and most powerful man in any meeting, except, of course, for the president. But unlike him, Agent Cantwell is not accountable to justice because officially he doesn't exist. What is his mission? To be the guardian of the top secrets of the FBI and the CIA, to communicate the truth to the President of the United States about everything that no one else can or should know, but that he is obligated to know. Stay with me and I will tell you exclusively everything about Agent Cantwell assigned to Donald Trump and the darkest secrets of the United States government, even about the creatures they keep in their secret bases and prisons. And don't even think about missing the ending. I promise I won't disappoint you because I am the documentarian. And this is the secrets that the government reveals to the President of the United States. First of all, I must thank my source, whom I will refer to as Officer Primo within the FBI and the CIA, who was in charge for 40 years of providing personal assistance to Agent Cantwell, of every president. Come on, when you get elected as President of the United States, you immediately know that, for better or worse, you'll go down in the great history of humanity. Right there, as soon as you have a minute alone, you realize that everyone is watching you. And that for the next 4 years, you might have to get involved in decisions that could ruin or make your life easier. Not just the lives of 350 million Americans, but of a large part of the world. Even take part in wars, order bombings, and pull the strings as much as you can in favor of your country against other nuclear powers, who are eager to see you fail spectacularly. And some of their leaders even dream of seeing you go up in flames. But what no president of the United States knows is that, after the formalities, the oaths, the lunch at the Capitol with members of Congress, the inaugural parade down Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House, and the traditional ball and reception with the other presidents who come from all over the world to congratulate you, after all that, you can't rest because you have a meeting, a secret one in an office in the White House that officially, well, doesn't exist either. That's right. Each new president of the United States is intercepted that first night by the Secret Service as he gets ready to sleep, with a sealed note bearing the top secret stamps of the FBI and the CIA. Imagine the look on their face when they open the envelope, and inside they find only an unusual gold key with an inscription that says, "The Blue Phone." In case you didn't know, in the presidential room inside one of the cabinets behind the glass, there are 3 phones, one red, one white, and one old blue one. Imagine the look on Donald Trump's face that January 20th, 2017, the night of the first day of his first term, when he discovered that the blue one had a slot where the key fit perfectly, and as soon as he turned it, it started to ring. And when, he replied, he heard a recording that said, "Good evening, Mr. President. Do not hang up or speak until this message is finished." In 1950, President Harry Truman signed an exceptional, ultra-secret, and irrevocable order known as the Phantom National Security Decree. Officially, there are no records. It cannot be modified by Congress or amended in any way because it creates the figure of the special agent, Cantwell, and every president of the United States has the right and the obligation to have one. My name is Cantwell. Dose in 30. Seconds after this recording ends, I will be knocking on your door beneath the old nuclear bunker of your room. Do you know whether you want to receive me or not? I am the one in charge of informing you about the secrets that the FBI and CIA only reveal to each new president. Donald Trump lowered his gaze and spotted the small rug with the White House seal. At the very moment he moved it to his side, he saw the embedded steel handle and... The president pulled on the cold metal and the mechanism was triggered. Instantly, a thick coated steel door lifted and slid to the side, revealing a lit staircase with a strict red carpet, where an agent of about 50 years old, wearing an elegant black suit and a strange Batman-style tactical belt, was waiting for him with his hand outstretched. Trump said to him, "Are you coming up or do you expect me to come down?" The man answered immediately, "We'll be more comfortable down here." Mr. President, the leader quickly descended, shook people's hands firmly, and as soon as his eyes adjusted to the dim light, he found that the secret room was enormous, with a table, 2 elegant chairs, and a massive screen projecting the image of the United States flag. As they sat down, the man in the black suit handed him a folder and explained, "There is my designation, voted on jointly by the director of the FBI and the CIA. I am Agent Cantwell 12. I have the highest intelligence rank, just as my predecessors have had since President Harry Truman. I am responsible for making sure you can give executive orders with complete information. In our first meeting, I must, without exception, tell you about 2 secret bases of the United States. And of course, during the week, I will come to see you outside your official schedule, and you will learn about what we have available in the CIA's non-traditional weapons division. And we'll talk about the FBI's 10 most wanted, but not the list that's published, nothing like that, but the other list. One that we keep secret because if it gets leaked to the public, well, the creatures that usually appear on that list would cause global panic." Trump asked, "Shouldn't the Secretary of Security accompany me to this meeting?" But the agent interrupted him, saying, "Under no circumstances, Mr. President, he doesn't know about our existence. Only you do. You'll see." President Truman witnessed an undeclared war between the FBI and the newly created CIA back in 1947. Both agencies provided him with partial information to favor their own interests. In other words, a fierce dispute erupted between the FBI and CIA involving politicians and officials. He soon realized that achieving the nation's security and greatness became a secondary priority for them. And what's worse, the president ended up not knowing anything about what was really happening. That's why he created the Phantom Decree, and with it, Agent Cantwell. First, both directors had to vote for an external official from among the candidates, a person responsible for providing highly classified information about government operations, without obscuring failures or successes. My rank is above any official. That means that not a minister nor a general or judge, not even the vice president can give me an order. Only you surpass me in power and position because you have to make the decisions. And that also includes making any requests you consider appropriate. As our name indicates, I am your count to all and I can do everything. Donald Trump reviewed the papers, understood they were correct, but wanted to test it. And true to his business style, he said, "Look, you seem confident and arrogant, with the I can do everything attitude. I'll spare myself doubts about your abilities and test you right here and now. I would feel very comfortable knowing that, in fact, you are much more than just words. You know I don't like wasting time. So I'll let you continue with this meeting, if and only if you show me something impossible on that screen. Let me think, I know. Show me what Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, is doing right now. No excuses, just do what I ask. To Donald Trump's surprise, Agent Cantwell smiled, stood up straight, pulled a satellite phone from his strange tactical belt and said, "Cantwell here, 12. I'm with Golden Eagle, I need eyes. Immediately Red Bear code transfer protocols." No sound came from the phone, and the man just raised a finger and whispered a countdown. 3, 2, 1. The vibrating belt removed a cover, and some lights revealed a number out loud. Speaking directly to the screen, he said, "Code 12, Royal Eagle Order, 1,666 eyes. Now." The screen with a deep male voice replied, "Confirmed agent control in Moscow. It's 7 in the morning and we have visual." The screen showed a live video and Donald Trump opened his eyes and screamed. "This is not good, nothing good." And the insult lasted for several seconds. And it wasn't just because of the amazement caused by the speed, precision, and effectiveness of carrying out his order, but because of what he saw on the screen. With surprising clarity, a live image was shown of President Putin watching a monitor in his office along with several men. There was no doubt that one of them was an American spy. The problem that caused Trump's insult was that on that monitor, it was clear that the president of Russia was watching a live image of the hallways of the White House. While he smiled and said something in his language to one of his men, Agent Cantwell explained, "We've been infiltrating each other for decades, and of course they've done the same to us. In the past, we used to kill agents and double agents. Over time, hundreds of bodies accumulated in both countries. We learned that it was better to just accept it and show the other side what they wanted to see. To give them peace of mind. We know who their spy is and they know who ours is. We just accept that that's how the game is played. Putin is sending you a message. What he's saying in Russian to his staff is, and I'll translate it for you literally, Mr. President, I think Trump must be sleeping or watching us right now. It's better this way, for him to know that Russia won't be an obstacle to his presidency, as long as he's not an obstacle to mine." Donald Trump was silent for a moment and said, "Vladimir is a smart man. There's no doubt about that. Where did you learn Russian?" The agent replied, "It's the special training they put us through, Mr. President. Every known language, every important name and face, we learn them while we sleep. We've had this technology since 2008. Our operations center is called Kanzuo Monastery, and I can't even reveal its location to you. There, they shape us into who we become. But before I arrived, I only knew English and Spanish. Mr. President, there are only 4 requirements to be a consul. And of course, you must not have been a member of the security forces, or the FBI, or the CIA, or the Army. Just an ordinary man with proven skills. The first requirement is to have saved at least one life selflessly. In my case, I was a teacher at a technical school where an armed man went crazy and came in shooting. I was decorated for saving my students. The other is having taken at least one life to protect the innocent. And well, Mr. President, the shooter ended up dead. That time, I killed him with his own assault rifle after getting into a struggle with him. The third requirement is to be smart. In my case, I taught chemistry and physics, although I didn't get my doctorate because I was recruited before that. And the fourth requirement is to be single, divorced, or widowed and not have children. Accepting that we will give up starting a family in the future. No. Touch. People showed an expression of sadness for the first time, but quickly composed themselves and added with pride. Being a song it's like a priesthood. Mr. President, we can't live this life any other way, can we? After what we need to know for you, Donald Trump said to you, well, now you have my full attention, I'm listening. The agent immediately gave an order to the screen. Code 12, Royal Eagle observes, show the video I recorded at the secret bases. The image of a colossal structure appeared. The sign said Area 51. Trump smiled mockingly and said, that's not a secret, everyone knows it exists. But his expression quickly faded because the video showed Agent Cantwell 12 entering an elevator using a golden key, similar to the one for the blue phone. The elevator only had 4 buttons, but when he turned the key, 2 more appeared, and he pressed the last one. After descending, the footage shows him entering a huge room, where 2 strange ships occupy the center of the place. Immediately, the agent explained, everyone thinks that at Area 51 we have aliens, but technically that's not true. We have those in Area 51B, which is 70 meters below the original. What you see is not the result of an accident like people think. Those ships never crashed on Earth. In fact, we found them in '63, orbiting our planet in space. There were 3 in total. We thought they were abandoned, we studied them, and they always stayed together like in a formation, but they never changed their course. So we concluded that they were no longer operational, and as you must already suspect, the Apollo missions were not just carried out to go to the moon. Mr. President, we had no interest in it. Trump smiled, clenched his fist, and said, did I know it? And the Earth is flat, right? Agent Cantwell laughed, but when he saw that the president was expecting an answer, he just nodded and said, I'll continue. Did we use the moon as an excuse? We had to justify the enormous expense of intercepting these things. And well, from 67 to 72, every Apollo mission was just a setup while we pretended to land on the moon. In truth, all we really did was push these ships so they'd fall toward our planet, and we managed to do it with all 3. In the ocean, especially in the Pacific, in predetermined areas, where we could safely recover them with Navy ships. One of them is still sunk because something went wrong, but these 2 beauties are at Area 51. Be Mr. President, and the important thing is not what we learned from this technology, but what was inside. And on the screen you can see the image of Agent Cantwell opening a capsule where there are 4 bodies suspended in a translucent liquid. Trump said, what the hell are those things? The man replied, they're the Greys, Mr. President, one of the 3 alien races whose existence we have confirmed. Sure, you're aware of the hundreds of abduction reports there are just in the United States. Well, they're the ones responsible. So far, they've taken more than 6,700 people, of which only 321 have been returned. The rest go directly to their planet. As a sacrifice for the Tenes, the race that rules them, the Greys are just their pawns. We know a lot about the Tenes. In fact, well, we also found one of those. Soon we'll go to Greenland, where we have it sleeping under the ice. Alive, Mr. President. Those Tenes are impossible to kill, Trump said. We must go immediately. I want to assess if that information can be released to the world. I want to be the first president to state once and for all that there is extraterrestrial life. Imagine the surprise of those who didn't vote for me when they learned that the Democrats they support have been deceiving them for years by withholding this information. But the agent insisted it was a terrible idea, that the world was watching his every move and taking him out of the White House would be highly risky. But if that was his wish, in a few days a distraction operation would be arranged to go. And not just to that base, but to the other 4 secret ones as well, including the special one, the one with the second secret, which a president must know. And he gave the order to the screen saying Code 12. Golden Eagle, observe, show what is not there. And as the image of a huge warehouse full of barrels appeared on the screen, Agent Cantos said to the president, "What you see on the screen, it's just a part of one of the 3 units we have in the world to store non-traditional weapons. It's a division under the charge of the CIA." Donald Trump yawned indifferently. He said that Amazon had bigger warehouses and that he would like to see more of the aliens than just the image of some barrels. Was it a waste of time? But the color drained from his face immediately when the next image showed people. Cantwell ordering an operator to take one of those barrels marked as Z0381 and to take it behind a thick security glass where a robotic clamp came down from the ceiling, unlocked the lid, and... Agent Cantwell smiled as he watched the terror on Donald Trump's face while he watched the footage. And then he said to him, "Non-traditional weapons. Mr. President, zombies exist. And if you look closely, you'll see that it doesn't get tired of hitting the glass to get out and eat. If we throw just one of these into the civilian population of a hostile country, in a few days their capital city would fall. And of course, the world would beg us on their knees to drop a nuclear bomb on these things. The CIA has them stored for this reason, although none of your predecessors have wanted to use them. Because, well, a bite transforms a person in just a few minutes. It kills them and brings them back with an unstoppable hunger. And you know, they don't discriminate. You can't reason with a revived one. An infected mother could eat her own children without the slightest remorse." Trump puffed out his chest and said, "Cowards, you can't be president without making tough decisions. I would have sent one of those guys to the caves of Afghanistan without hesitation, and that way it wouldn't have taken us 10 years to catch and kill Osama bin Laden." Agent Cantwell immediately interrupted and said, No, Mr. President, we didn't kill bin Laden. In fact, we have him at another one of our bases, an underwater prison in the Indian Ocean, where we take the most dangerous ones to interrogate them. We'll be visiting him soon. Because you should know that Osama is not, and will never be, among the list of the most dangerous creatures we have. There. And looking at the screen, he ordered, "Code 12 Royal Eagle watching. Give me eyes underwater." And in the image, an aged bin Laden appeared in his prison. But the camera moved almost immediately 2 cells to the right, where, between the bars, a huge claw appeared. Donald Trump just pointed at the image, waiting for an explanation. Agent Cantwell said the FBI captured him in 2020. He was #1 on their list. The other most wanted list, the one you should know about, the one we don't show to the public. Because, well, we want monsters, witches, and vampires not to become real for our people, so that citizens can keep living their lives in peace. No one wants to think that the thing we locked up in there could show up in the children's room while they're sleeping. And Trump moved closer to the screen to get a better look at that deformed prisoner whose eyes glowed red in the shadows. "So that thing is real then?" asked Donald Trump, and Agent Cantwell answered without hesitation. "Catching it wasn't easy, Mr. President. It took you several years, but it's nothing compared to the most dangerous creature. I have a name here, Mr. President. Read it yourself." According to my informant, they say that Donald Trump took a deep breath when he looked at that report and found out right there that in that underwater prison, the United States is holding one of the most powerful and destructive beings in the world. His name came out of the president's mouth like a sigh. He said with resignation, "Do you want to know what that creature's name is?" I know you do, so subscribe, like, and share this video. Because very soon I'll be uploading several videos about all the creatures that the United States has captured over many years. I am the documentarian. And these were the secrets that the government reveals to the President of the United States.